Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who is tuning in to the last set of webinars that we have for ATMO World Summit 2022. And we are tuning in here from Tokyo, Japan. Good morning, good afternoon. And one second, we're going to make sure everything is configured correctly. Okay, yeah, we should be good. Okay, yeah, we're really excited to get started today. We have 3 great webinars that we are going to be bringing you today. Me and my colleague Jan Dusek is here, and we are going to be also introducing 2 webinars, one from speaking about our Philippines project, the Cold Chain Innovation Hub. We're also going to be talking about the market trends for natural refrigerants in Japan, and then we'll also have a very special presentation from TECO, who is going to be rounding off our series of webinars for ATMO World Summit 2022. So we're really excited for everybody who is joining us today, and anybody who might be tuning in to the recordings. Just as a reminder, all the webinars will be recorded, or they are being recorded, and they're going to be accessible on YouTube at the links that we'll be sending out and providing to everybody afterwards. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everybody. We're real excited to get started. So if you just give me a second here, I'm going to be making sure we're all configured, and I'm going to be checking in with our team periodically to make sure everything is running okay. Also, just to let everybody know, there are ways to send us questions. There's a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. So if you click on that, you can send us questions, and we will be saving some time at the end of each presentation to make sure we address any questions there are, or to provide any answers, and have some discussion and some interaction. And also, we are going to be opening the chat box as well, so you should see a chat box in case you want to interact with any of the other attendees or us who are presenting. So yeah, let's get started here. I'm going to get my screen shared, and we're going to start off with our first presentation. Now, hopefully everybody can see the slides, and please let us know if there are any issues you're experiencing. We're going to be in touch with our team, and we are going to make sure that everybody can see everything okay and hear everything okay. All right. So let's do this. Our first presentation is about the Cold Chain Innovation Hub Philippines project. As some of you know, and you might have heard from us before, this project has been running for since late 2018, early 2019. We faced a lot of challenges, of course, over the duration of that time, but today we are very excited to provide you with the latest updates. Everybody on the team, everybody involved in the project has been hard at work, and we're very grateful for everybody who has been working on making sure we push this project forward, because it's a very exciting project dealing with the cold chain sector in the Philippines, helping it develop sustainably with the most up-to-date natural refrigerant technologies. And there are also several opportunities for companies, organizations, experts around the world to get involved with our project and help contribute, because this is very important to help with the Philippines' cold chain industrial sector development. So this is going to be very exciting to provide you with these updates today. Jan Dusek is our head of global partnership, and my name is Devin Yoshimoto. I'm the communications lead for this project. So I'll be starting off by providing some project background for those of you who may not be familiar with the project, and then I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about the facility itself, that we're the training, the exhibition facility that we are currently setting up in Manila in the Philippines, and tell you a little bit more about what exactly is going on and what we have planned for the future. And then I'm going to bring in our head of global partnership, Jan Dusek, who's going to be speaking about opportunities for the industry to partner with us and to talk a little bit about what's been done up to date, the very latest updates for the project. So let's keep going here. So the Global Partnership for Improving the Food Cold Chain in the Philippines is the official name of the project. The funding is provided by the Global Environment Facility, and the funding amount is around $2 million US, but there is also a co-financing component with several partnerships we've made with the financial institutions who are helping back this project with an amount of around 25 million US dollars. We're also working with the government of the Philippines, specifically the Department of Environment and Natural Resources of the Philippines, along with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, who is the actual implementing agency for this project. And finally, we'd like to highlight and recognize that we are working with TESDA. TESDA is the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority of the Philippines, so the official training institution, a great partnership for this project, because one of the main goals of this project is to get people trained and up to date on the latest technologies. So speaking of goals, the actual specific main goal of the project is to identify, develop, and stimulate the development of low carbon, energy efficient, refrigeration innovation technologies and business practices in the Philippines for use throughout the cold chain, whilst increasing food safety and security. So you can see that there are a number of different outcomes that we are looking to achieve in this goal, but the overall outcome is to stimulate, identify, and develop the most energy efficient and environmentally friendly refrigeration technologies that can be used and implemented today, immediately in the Philippines throughout the food cold chain. So this is everything from post-harvest, that where produce and livestock and fish need to be refrigerated once they are harvested from the field, all the way through transportation, where they need to be transported to distribution facilities, larger cold storage facilities. That is also included in this scope as well, all the way to the retail sector, the food retail sector, everything from small format convenience stores to supermarkets and hypermarkets as well. So everything in between, the entire food cold chain, we are looking for low carbon, energy efficient technologies that we can implement in the Philippines today. So just to tell you a little bit more about how this is subdivided into separate components, there are 4 components for this project. The first is a policy and regulatory assessment. And this is to identify the policy and the regulatory needs, the changes, the adaptations, the updates that need to be provided to enable this technology transition and this development. We're also building awareness and building capacity. We're initiating technology transfer and partnerships from overseas, but also within the Philippines as well. And then we are doing monitoring and evaluation to help evaluate the technologies that are going to be put in place, monitoring them and learning from these implementations and optimizing that as we go forward. So SHECO is SHECO Atmosphere, formerly known as SHECO, is involved in this project as an implementing agency. We are focused on the awareness and capacity building. You can see that here, where we've completed a number of different research reports. We are handling all the communications and media production and newsletters and outreach to the industry, especially in the form of technology transfer and partnerships, which Jan will be speaking about a little bit later, where we are helping to form these partnerships with overseas technology manufacturers and experts, with the experts and the people on the ground in the Philippines to help achieve and transfer over the technologies that are needed. So yeah, let me just take a short pause here and say, we are going to be talking a little bit about the vision now. And just a reminder to everybody, thank you all for joining. If you're just joining us now, we're talking about the Cold Chain Innovation Hub Philippines project. There's a Q&A box, there's a chat box, so we'd love to have any feedback or have any questions from you that we will reserve time to answer at the end of this presentation. So going into a little bit about the project vision. So what actually is this hub? What does it look like? And what are we doing? What are the plans that we have to bring these technologies to the Philippines and help facilitate the training and the upskilling of those in the industry and building the awareness for the key stakeholders in the industry that we are trying to reach with this project. So let's first start off with going way back. We had some initial concept sketches that were done to help visualize what the actual space was going to look like. So we had an idea that we wanted to focus on exhibition and training, but actually we also wanted to make sure that we were showcasing these technologies to all the different key stakeholders. And the hub itself actually is going to be an ecosystem of technical resources, technology promotion, knowledge sharing, and stakeholder collaboration. So everybody who's involved in the cold chain sector can come here, work together, discuss, learn about everything that we have to offer to educate the industry. So that is the vision for the hub. And we also want to make sure that we want to highlight that TESTA, the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, is going to play the key role in going forward and training the industry on these technologies and working with the experts to implement into their main curriculum that they are already using to help upskill the development of the Filipino workforce. So they're a key partner, and they've been working very hard to help everybody work together and develop this curriculum. So we want to highlight TESTA. We also want to show where this facility is actually located. So TESTA has the Regional Training Center, National Capital Region in Manila. So the distance from the training center to the port of Manila is only about 15 kilometers. It's only about 7 kilometers from the airport. So that is something that is very important for this project, because we are going to be bringing in these technologies from overseas, and we want to make sure that this is very accessible. So this is the campus of TESTA, and you can see here on the top left corner where we've highlighted that this is the actual CCI-Hub building. This is part of the old engine building, the old training center for TESTA for different use that we've converted into the being used for the CCI-Hub. So we're actually really excited today because we're going to be showing you some of the most recent updates that we've had working with several project members on the ground to help renovate this facility. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Just really quick, just to give you an idea, here's the floor plan of the building. There's a total area of about 480 square meters. It's actually a very high ceiling in the exhibition area. We also have different training rooms set up. The way we'd like to organize this is we'd like to separate the different areas into focus on different specific sections of the cold chain. So we have the cold storage room where we'll have live running systems for training and demonstration, highlighting the different temperatures, medium temperature, low temperature for food storage and food retail and post-harvest facilities and transport. We also have a specific training room. So we also like to have classrooms or more small scale training on different components, demonstration of these technologies, cabinets, display cabinets and plug-in systems. So a little bit on the smaller scale, more light commercial type of equipment. And finally, we also would like to highlight the workshop and exhibition area. So this is the very large space where we're going to be having the main exhibition, where we showed you a little bit of the concept sketches before, but we're going to be showing you a little bit more in a few minutes. So finally, I'd like to just highlight that TESTA and a lot of the project partners have already come together and put this really interesting video that we would like to show you right now. So let me just, please give me a second. I'm going to show this 3D rendering that was produced for the facility. And we'll just give you a little taste of what the vision was we had a few months back that we are working very close to achieving today. So just to show you here, this kind of gives you a more real sense of what it would be like actually in the exhibit area, where we'd have different equipment being exhibited. We have people in there exchanging knowledge, networking as well. We also have second floor here. I'd like to show you real quick. I'm just going to skip through this. We have training rooms, we have classrooms, meeting rooms to help facilitate the networking of all the different stakeholders in the industry. We go upstairs and we also have smaller components, rooms where we can focus on even more experimental new media ways of training. So like virtual reality or online training as well. Something really exciting. So we're really grateful to our project partners to have put this together. And now I'd like to move forward and go back to our presentation because we have some exciting developments to share with you today. And I'm going to bring on our next speaker, Jan. Jan, please go ahead and take it away because we have a lot to tell you all.
Thank you very much, Devin, for the initial introduction of the Cold Chain Innovation Hub project in Philippines. My name is Jan. I'm the head of the global partnership at the Cold Chain Innovation Hub project in Philippines, and I will be very happy to show you the recent progress with the facility. I will take you through the very important aspect of the project, which are the contributions from the industry and the cooperations that we have been working on last 12 plus months. We will also talk about the future of the hub and the planned activities for this year and beyond. So, so far you were able to see the vision that we had along together with our project partners, what kind of facility we wish to build, what kind of facility will bring the necessary elements of technology, expertise, knowledge, materials, tools to the industry to help accelerate the uptake of the energy efficient cold chain technologies based on natural refrigerants. So I will start off with the pictures and some of the visuals of the actual physical space that several of the partners and contributors have been working on very hard last several weeks, and this is the first time we are actually previewing these pictures with the public. So let me start. Okay, so as you might remember from Devin's presentation, one of the largest space of the whole area out of the 480 meters squared facility is the showroom. And this is the fully renovated, reformed part of the Cold Chain Innovation Hub, where a number of the latest cold chain technologies will be displayed, both as an exhibit and as well as running live systems used for training and demonstration. So this is the first visual from the main space that has been fully renovated in last weeks and months. We will continue in what we call a training room. This room will be basically prepared in the form of a classroom when the industry will be meeting regularly. We envision meetings twice a week for both the TESDA experts as well as the industry from the cold chain sector in Philippines to learn about new technologies, to have new products and solutions being introduced by the leading experts. So this room will be serving as a classroom and interaction room, basically. We have another visual from a room that will be dedicated to retail technologies. We will have a water loop system demonstrated, RT90 water loop system, and there will be a number of plug-in showcases using RT90 and 600A as a refrigerant based in this room. So we will have a bit of a preview when it comes to retail. There will also be a CO2 transcritical installation, small demonstration using 2 horsepower condensing unit located just outside of this room. And of course, there will be a showcase inside of this room 2 dedicated to retail technologies. This is another picture of the main space. So the works are still ongoing, but we are literally just days away from a complete from the finish line that we are looking for, and we are having the technologies being shipped on the ground as we speak. Another visual. So in this large space, we will have a number of fairly large pieces of equipment. So it's really great to be working with such a spacious area. And finally, the view on the whole room. We are very excited about this space being provided by TESDA. And we really look forward to having the latest and the best pieces of technology to be demonstrated there for the industry to learn more about and train on. We have also just finalized the signboard, so there will be a massive 3-meter signboard on above the main entrance into the Culture Innovation Hub. Again, highlighting the project, but also the funding and implementation by Jeff and UNIDO. So very excited to have access to this facility, and in this current quarter, from April onwards, we will be bringing a lot of these technologies that I will introduce from now on to the facility, so that the industry has access. I will now talk about the industry opportunities for the industry, starting with the contributions. So industry contributions. One big part of the whole project is a technology transfer. We want to enable the transfer of the technologies from the leaders in this industry, often based in Europe, in America, elsewhere in the world. And we have been partnering up with a number of these companies to enable access to their leading technology for cold chain based on natural refrigerants. So here we introduce first 16 companies that have become the contributors to the Cold Chain Innovation Hub project. I will introduce in detail their technologies, but we would like to say a thank you. We are very happy to work with all these contributors. We are glad that they recognize the opportunity to be the market-making, ultimately, entity to help Southeast Asia in general, but Philippines specifically, to have access to the technology that is being deployed in elsewhere in the world, in many markets globally as a standard now, but yet is to make the larger presence in Southeast Asia and other parts of the world. So very happy to be working with these leading companies, and I will now introduce more specifically what kind of contributions will be then available at the hub. To start with, we can talk about commercial refrigeration and retail. So I'm glad to present some of the contributions, starting from the showcases that will be configured into a water loop system demonstrated at the Culture Innovation Hub. The showcases are being donated by AHT, member of Daikin Group. We are also happy to receive the pump station, the dry cooler from Gunther, and the pump station from Brandfos. So this will be the second demonstration of the R290 water loop in Philippines, in Manila, and we are excited about having this demonstration at the hub. We are also glad to receive showcases from EPTA, plug-in showcases using hydrocarbons, the plug-and cool unit from Embraco, which is another R290 system used in commercial refrigeration. Hussmann and Panasonic has partnered up with the Culture Innovation Hub to contribute with their CO2 technology. So very likely the first CO2 transcritical system to be running in Philippines will be using this technology. It's a 2-horsepower condensing unit by Panasonic linked with the merchandiser from Hussmann. So very excited to have this demonstration at the hub running over the next few weeks. We, of course, are still open for business when it comes to receiving additional contributions. This is really the first round of contributions. We hope to get in touch with many other companies and really make it possible for the industry to have access to all the latest innovations when it comes to this space. So these technologies will be demonstrated at the hub. We are, of course, working beyond, and whenever possible, we would like to have this technology running live and demonstrated so it can be monitored when it comes to efficiency and performance. The industry can really have a hands-on experience with how this technology works. So as I mentioned, there will be demonstration of several concepts of the cold chain technologies using natural refrigerants for retail. Small condensing unit, plug-in showcases, water loop. There is also a larger system that will be introduced at the hub. Another sector that has been identified as a very important part of the cold chain in Philippines, and one of the bottlenecks when it comes to eliminating or trying to reduce the food waste in Philippines, etc. So the industry transport refrigeration has been one of these bottlenecks, and we are very happy to also introduce a consortium of companies that will be working with us on introducing the transport solutions using both RT90 and CO2. Namely, Product Blocks, Carrier, Transicold are contributing with their CO2 natural line container and the RT90 refrigerated unit module for the refrigerated trucks. So these technologies will be present at the hub, and we are actively working with our project partners to actually make this first pilot RT90 refrigerated van also to be available at the hub. This is in more detail the specific refrigerated truck. Again, we are working with a number of companies, Product Blocks supplying the refrigeration unit, Cold Front, leading contractor, working with natural refrigerants in Philippines, and also the local company Central that will be providing the insulated panels, and Nexty Electronics also offering the monitoring, remote monitoring of the system. So we are trying to pack a number of latest technologies and really introduce this concept to Philippines, starting with the first unit at the hub. But we believe there is quite a lot of potential for this technology to be commercialized in the market. And hence we see this to be as a kind of a starting point for this business opportunity for the industry. Further on, we are also happy to work with Westfrost and Danish Technology Institute to have access to their latest technology using solar to provide power for the cooling, for the refrigerated system. It's basically a chest freezer that is deploying solar panels and batteries to fully provide the power to the compressors that is running the system. This will be also one of the first, actually the first of these systems to be installed and tested at the Cold Chain Innovation Hub. And again, there will be an opportunity for us to deploy this technology to the market to help provide some of the cooling, cover some of the cooling needs to the off-grid locations for both post-harvest refrigeration and other needs. So we also believe there is a lot of potential for this technology in Philippines. This is what I have just mentioned, the off-grid refrigeration pilot projects using both RT90 and CO2. We also know that Carrier Transicold have introduced an additional module to their natural line, which basically provides the power to the unit via solar. Hence, both of these solutions can be deployed off-grid. So we are excited to test and pilot some of these technologies, demonstrate its viability in the market to, again, help the local industry to understand what the options are when it comes to sustainable, efficient, and viable technologies. We are also very happy to work with other companies that are providing their expertise, their know-how when it comes to training, when it comes to commissioning, installation, maintenance of the systems, namely Cold Front, Neonates again systems, Future Green Now, and TECO. So very happy to be working with a number of leading companies in Philippines and outside in Europe, Germany, South Africa, that have a long expertise when it comes to natural refrigerants, CO2, R290. So the training, technology transfer, knowledge, expertise is really very important aspect to the whole project. And April onwards, May onwards, we do plan to have a regular training program for the industry at the Cold Chain Innovation Hub. I'm also very happy to introduce for the first time our new cooperation with Neonates Again Systems. Neonates Again Systems are leading supplier of the condensed CO2 transcritical condensing unit for the industrial sector. And Neonates Again System has confirmed and they will contribute with a dedicated CO2 transcritical system that will be designed for the need and the function at the Culture Innovation Hub, that will be used as a training tool, training rig for the industry. So very pleased to receive this contribution from the industry. The system is being designed as we speak, and we very much look forward to having this unique and first one of a kind system at the hub accessible to the industry. So big thank you also to Neonates Again Systems. Why to contribute? We believe that there is a number of reasons which companies have in mind working with us. There is, to name some of them, to be associated with this international sustainability-led initiative is something that, of course, the companies can take big credit for. They are being associated with the market-making activities to really be the first, showcasing their expertise when it comes to these technologies, providing the help to the industry as the industry is ramping up their skills and their knowledge and access to technology, can help position these companies well into the next stage of the market, which really is the introduction and ramping up of the uptake of these technologies. So we believe that there is a number of both sustainability-driven reasons as well as business reasons for the companies to be involved in this initial stage of building the market in Southeast Asia for natural refrigerants and efficient cold chain technologies. So we do hope that a number of other companies will be reaching out. We will be proactively approaching other companies, and the goal is simple. We would love to have the collection and access to the best and the latest and the best technologies out there, ranging from systems, tools, training know-how, expertise, everything and anything that can help contribute to the increasing, building up of the knowledge when it comes to latest technologies in the Philippines, as well as access to the expertise and being part of the training that will start in a few weeks' time. So we do hope that you will get in touch if you're listening to us. And we hope we can work together on helping to bring additional technologies to the hub. There's still plenty of space. So next steps, as I mentioned, the hub is in the very final stage of the completion of the reform. We are already having some of the technology available or being shipped to the hub. So over the next weeks, there will be more and more of the contributions present and available at the hub. We will be involved in installation and commissioning of the equipment. We plan to have a grand opening in the following quarter, very much aiming at May, but we will specify and announce this date once confirmed. There will be a start of the training program. We are looking into twice a week, twice a month, in-person and online hybrid form of a training for the industry, covering a wide range of topics. Again, of course, linked to the cold chain sector, from the safe use of refrigerants and new tools and new systems, maintenance, installation, regulation. We would like to cover a number of topics. And again, deploying the technologies and tools that are being provided to the hub from the industry. Finally, one of the very important aspects of this year, beyond securing additional contribution, is to also select and implement a project that will be funded by the project itself. So demonstration of the cold chain innovation technologies in the market, ideally covering all different sectors, from retail, transport to industrial. So we are also open to work with with the end users, with the industry on identifying these projects that will be the opportunity for us to bring the technology also to the market, not only at the Cold Chain Innovation Hub. So thank you very much for your attention. That was all that we had for you today. We are, of course, available to answer any of your questions. We still have some extra time. So I will ask my colleague Devin if we have some questions.
Yes. Turn on my mic. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we would like to open the floor now to anybody who is watching now. Please send in a question if you'd like to ask us in the Q&A box. And let me just see right here. We have one question from Mr. Darwin Santiago. Hi, Jan and Devin. So it says, how to get involved in this training? How can people get involved in these training sessions? Is the training open to individuals or open only to partners and contributors? Will the CO2 refrigeration training be available? Thank you. And I'd love to shoot that over to Jan to help give more clarity on that point.
Thank you very much, Devin, and thank you, Darwin, for getting in touch, and thank you for extending this question. Very good question. So as you might know, we have an extensive mailing list of all the experts and individuals from both the Filipino cold chain and the global markets involved. So we have a list that we use to communicate about different activities of the hub. The training program will be always communicated to the industry. We expect and we plan to have these training courses available to both individuals and the companies, not only to the partners, but to the industry, ranging from end users, installers, suppliers, policymakers, everyone with a genuine interest in learning about these technologies. So it will be open platform. Very important aspect, and that will be our key focus, is to help train the trainers. So there will be a team of experts from TESDA that will be actively participating in the training in order to build their own expertise and then create a curriculum. The curriculum at TESDA that will be offering the training for the latest natural refrigerant technologies to the others beyond the scope of the project. So one of the important things to mention is the continuity. The project has a limited mandate, but the whole idea is to bring the technology on the ground, kickstart this whole ecosystem of technologies and expertise and training, so that TESDA can then, of course, be involved and continue with offering the training for the latest cold chain technologies to the industry. So it will be open platform. We welcome everyone working in the cold chain sector, and again, we are very excited to have both in-person and online attendees for these programs that we are very confident will start from May onwards.
Thank you, Jan. You know what, let me just follow up on this real quick as well, because we have some online resources that we have not mentioned yet, and we'd like to make sure to share with you right now. So Darwin, also, just in case you'd like to sign up for the newsletter that Jan mentioned, where we're constantly communicating about our future training activities and opportunities to come join training. Everyone, I'd like to let you know to please visit our website at cci-hub.org. We have one page here for our newsletter where you can sign up for our newsletter, and you can also see some of the past announcements we've made, but all you have to do is enter your email address and press subscribe. And let me also take some time now to show you a little bit more about what we already have online. So we have a number of different webinars that we've already held to date with so many different experts in policy, regulation, technical training, local experts in the Philippines, overseas experts discussing a number of different topics. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you just type in Cold Chain Innovation Hub Philippines in the search box, and you should find our YouTube channel where we have a number of different sessions we already have uploaded online. You know, one of these sessions I'd like to highlight here is we did one a little while ago with an expert named Vinan Grenevald, who is from Future Green Now, one of the training partners, knowledge experts, who has already partnered with us and who will be providing this expertise. We have this one webinar, remember we did with him a while ago on CO2 transcritical systems and high ambient temperatures. he was able to walk us through live one of the installations his company was involved with in South Africa, where they had a live running CO2 system. They talked a lot about it. So we already have a bunch of training materials online. So please make sure to go ahead and visit our website and our YouTube channel. You can learn more about our contributors, learn a little bit more about the contributions, what they'll be contributing to the space. We have a blog. We have a number of research reports on the industry, on policy, which we just released today as well. So please go ahead and check that out on our website. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. We have a bit more time here, so we're about 20 more minutes. Let me go back to the Q&A box. Okay, yes, Darwin, thank you. Thank you for your question, and please let us know if you have any other questions. Jan, I have one question for you. I think one thing that would be good to discuss is this ATMO World Summit 2022 has been about natural refrigerant technology and its growth and its development in terms of the market, but in terms of the technology itself around the world. So what I'd love to ask you is about specifically in the Philippines, what types of natural refrigerant technology do you see to have a lot of potential to help reduce emissions in the Philippines cold chain sector, but also increase energy efficiency? And which technologies, natural refrigerant technologies, do you see having the most potential in the Philippines?
Thank you, Devin, for the question. I think it's well known that ammonia has been used in industrial refrigeration in Philippines for a long time. There is a number of ammonia CO2 systems as well on industrial refrigeration. When it comes to the biggest opportunity for the whole industry going forward, if you look at the refrigeration side, I think the low-hanging fruit is to really move away from the high GWP HFCs when it comes to small plug-in systems. This is already taking off. There's a number of examples of deployment of both R290 and R600A for the small plug-in systems. So this goes, I think, to all parts of the world. There is no reason why not to already 100% convert into these fairly affordable. The price increase is really not really high. The efficiency is superb, and they bring a lot of benefits when it comes to efficiency, sustainability. So the low-hanging fruit is the plug-in systems in small type of equipment, sometimes deployed in retail as well, of course. We have a great example of deployment of the R290 water loop that has bring in Manila in the Royal Duty Free shop installed 2 years back. There is an evidence of very good performance and efficiency and cost saving. So there is a clear opportunity for the retail in Philippines to look into this option that has been that has already been proven and well tested. So there's an opportunity for the Filipino industry to go in that direction. We will be at the hub demonstrating some of the very first CO2 transcritical systems. And we do believe that there are applications that CO2 transcritical is suitable for the cold chain sector in the Philippines, in both retail, small applications, to large industrial. So there are a number of discussions ongoing on deploying CO2 transcritical in Philippines for the first test projects. Yesterday, we have started the ATMO World Summit with series of presentations in Europe, followed by a number of presentations on the US time zone. And we had incredible number of great presentations covering all CO2, R290, ammonia, big discussion about heat pumps. There is so much opportunities out there. We don't expect all of that happening, right away, but there is clearly an opportunity for integrated heat pumps in Filipino, hotel industry, combining the air conditioning and heating, which is often being supplied by independent systems, by the boilers, gas boilers, oil boilers, electric boilers, and air conditioning systems. So we believe there is a huge potential for heat pumps, integrated heat pumps that provide both heating and cooling saving a lot of energy and then bringing big aspect of and sustainability and energy efficiency. Another example is again air conditioning. This goes beyond the cold chain. Chillers, big topic in the many parts of the world. Ammonia chillers, packaged chillers, hydrocarbon chillers. For process cooling, for air conditioning. This is a big trend that is led by Europe, but also being observed in US and Australia to again substitute high GWP HFC systems and HFO systems. HFO represents another basically risk going forward when it comes to TFA. This is a known problem by now, the efficiency cost, etc. So there is a number of opportunities, some of them easier, some of them will be faster introduced to the market. Transport is a big one. So we are very excited to work on the R290 pilot refrigerated truck for the Filipino industry. The off-grid solutions, Philippines, if I'm correct, is more than 7,000, consists of more than 7,000 islands. So there will be always an opportunity for the off-grid efficient solution that helps preserve the food cold and help avoid the food spoilage. So I can keep going. I believe the opportunity is across the board. And we do hope that the Cold Chain Innovation Hub and the functions and the training, the technologies that it brings along will help accelerate this trend, will help bring the expertise that is already available, plentiful in many parts of the world to Philippines, and that the industry will recognize that the next opportunity is here in Southeast Asia, in Philippines and outside. Huge market of 600 plus million people, and a lot of opportunity for the natural refrigerant systems in cold chain and beyond. So we are excited about the future, and we are excited to work with the pioneers and the leaders that recognize this opportunity.
Thank you, Jan. Yeah, I think it's just important to just going off what you said. These heating and cooling technologies are the very same technologies that are used throughout the entire population. And just going back and remembering that the Philippines today is prioritizing this very highly. Food safety, food security, especially in light of all the natural disasters, climate events, typhoons, volcanoes. The Philippines faces a number of different challenges. And getting the local food production sector up to speed, scaled, and providing the local population with locally produced food, locally produced vegetables and meat products and fish is a high priority for the government. And decoupling that growth that is projected for the cold chain industry, very high percentage over the next 4 to 5 years in the Philippine cold chain industry roadmap, which we also have available on our website. Decoupling that growth and development from a growth in emissions is a top priority for the government, and is a really huge opportunity for the natural refrigerant industry to help step in and step up and assist the Philippines population and also the world in helping reduce emissions. So this is a very important thing that we believe in, and this project is taking a big step forward in this with the cooperation of many overseas suppliers, technology experts, and local stakeholders in the Philippines, which we have had the pleasure of working with until today. So we hope you all have had a good time listening to what we've been speaking about, and we'd love to be available to, we have one more question here. Let's see. Darwin, yes, Darwin says, I believe CO2 refrigeration is in infancy yet. What can you say about the potential opportunity of the system in the Philippines market? Jan, let me just shoot that over to you to speak to that a little bit more.
Thank you, Devin, and thank you, Darwin, again for your question. I believe there might be some who disagree with you, especially in Japan and Europe, since the CO2, the new age for CO2 transcritical has started in early 2000s. So we are very close to 20 years of the new development for CO2 transcritical. Japan has started this development around the CO2 heat pumps. Now there is more than 8 million CO2 heat pumps for domestic hot water production deployed in Japan. And we know the story for the CO2 transcritical refrigeration in Europe, with tens of thousands of systems and very highly competitive market and lots of innovation last 10 plus years. So I would disagree with the infancy for CO2. I think we have come a long way last 20 years. When it comes to the Philippines, yes, indeed, we are yet to have the first CO2 transcritical system deployed. But Culture Innovation Hub is along with our partners going to change it within very short time, and then it remains to be seen what the opportunity in the market is. We have mentioned a number of the solutions. The CO2 reefer is already deployed in Southeast Asia, in developing countries, actually around the world. So there's a clear opportunity for this fleet of CO2 transcritical reefers to be deployed around for shipping. The small condensing units, we will demonstrate this technology at the hub, and there will be also a demonstration of the small CO2 transcritical system in the market. We have an evidence from countries like Indonesia and Malaysia when these systems have been deployed already with good success. Possibly a larger opportunity can be linked to the industrial sector, when we have seen CO2 transcritical being deployed in industrial sector globally. And actually our next two presentations, both the one that I will be presenting about the Japan trend and mainly the one after by Teko. Teko will be presenting in detail about the possibility when it comes to CO2 transcritical in industrial in places like Philippines. So tuned in, and there will be much more shared by the real experts, unlike me. So yeah, there will be more to share on the topic, but we will see the opportunity. CO2 has been growing around the world. It's Southeast Asia is, I would say, among the last markets when we really see a large penetration of CO2 transcritical, but there is no reason not to. We will see more of these systems. There is already industrial CO2 transcritical installed in Malaysia. There is other places already. So we will see the beginning of the CO2 transcritical story in Philippines starts this year. I'm looking at the time. We have also answered the questions. We will be getting ready for our next session. So I would like to say thank you to all of you who tuned in. As Devin mentioned before, we will be sharing this recording on all our platforms. We have been actually live on LinkedIn. We have been live on YouTube, and we have also been live on our marketplaces that are published and provided by the Atmosphere Group. So thank you very much for tuning in. We will be announcing new events and new training online and in person via our newsletter. So tuned in the Culture and Innovation Hub newsletter. And we look forward to in-person interactions. We'll be at the hub more often from April, May onwards. So there will be opportunity for us to meet as well. We say big thank you to our project partners and all the contributors. And we look forward to having even more of the leading companies and operators on board. So thank you very much again for your attention, and looking forward to our next interaction.